Hey guys, so today I thought there's such this big rave going on right now with the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I mean, it is such the hot commodity right now that it is selling out everywhere. They've had to push back release dates. It's just kind of this big mess of them selling out within 15 minutes, and girls are upset and angry over it, and they're fighting over it. I've seen girls selling this palette for $500 on eBay, which is absolutely ridiculous. So, before I got into this tutorial, I wanted to do this because I wanted you guys to see that there are other palettes out there that have beautiful spring colors to them, so that this isn't a dire emergency to go out and fight over this palette. Now, that being said, I love Too Faced Cosmetics. It is probably one of my most favorite brands, if not my favorite brand that I have ever had. I love all of their chocolate bar palettes. The Bonbon is literally my favorite palette of all time. So I was really excited to get this palette just because it was kind of close to their chocolate bar line. The only thing was, I started thinking about it, and I was really disappointed with Too Faced because I feel like there were so many different shades and hues of peach they could have put in that palette other than just 3 to 4 shades of peach. I mean, if you take a real good look at the palette, you will see like 3 to 4 shades of peach, and then most of them are browns and purples, and then there's a kind of mint green color that's in the palette. And I just thought that was really weird because I understand with every palette you do need, your neutrals and things like that so that you have something for a brow bone highlight and to blend the colors in. But if you're going to do a peach palette, you should have majority peach shades in it. So I think that maybe the marketing that they did for that wasn't the greatest. I think they could have gotten a lot more out of the palette if they would have stuck to either one of their 9-pan palettes that Too Faced makes, which is a smaller palette than the chocolate bar size, or if they would have just put more peach shades in there. But anyways, the reason why I wanted to do this tutorial is to show you girls, you don't need this palette to have beautiful spring looks. So the tutorial that I'm going to be doing today is going to be a peach look. So I hope you are interested, and I hope you really enjoy it, so please stay tuned. Okay, so of course the very first thing that I'm going to do to start this tutorial off is prime my face, and I'm using the Makeup Forever Step 1 Hydrating Primer. I absolutely love this stuff. It's been working amazing. But anyways, I've been reading a lot on Facebook and these different groups that I follow that, these girls are so upset over not being able to get their hands on this peach palette. And, it's causing fights amongst these girls and all these things. And I just thought it was kind of ridiculous because, when the Bonbon palette came out, it wasn't that great of a seller like this peach one is, and I don't know if that's just because of the marketing ploy that Too Faced used to say that it was limited edition. But the Bonbon palette, I think, is way better than the peach palette. I think it's so versatile, and there's so many different looks that you can create with that palette, and there's cool tones and warm tones. So I'm really quite surprised about this huge hype up for this peach palette. So I have my face primed, so the next thing that I'm going to do is obviously prime my eyelids. So I'm going to be using the Milani Eyeshadow Primer. So anyways, I got you guys watched my last haul. I picked up some products from Colourpop and Morphe. And so I figured, with these, I picked up some spring looks because I wanted to do, some brighter and more glittery things for spring. So why the heck not do it next? So, okay, so my whole entire face is primed. So the next thing that I'm going to do is do my foundation. So today's foundation I'm going to be using is the Fit Me Matte and Poreless. And this is the color 110, which is porcelain. This is one of my favorite drugstore foundations. I absolutely love this. Oh, and I'm actually using a foundation brush today. This is the Morphe G6. It's the flat top one. This is from their Gunmetal collection. But anyways, this is one of my favorite foundations from the drugstore. I absolutely love this foundation. The only one that tops this one, in my opinion, is the L'Oreal Paris Infallible, which is a matte full coverage and it lasts forever. This one's a little bit cheaper than that, but I think they both work really good. Okay, so then the next thing that we do is obviously conceal our face. And today I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and I'm going to be using it number 15, which is Fair. So I've heard really great things about this. I've used it a couple times before, and I really like it. The formula is a little too dark for me just because, like you guys have seen in my other tutorials, I do like using a very, very light concealer just to brighten up my under eyes. But this formula conceals really well. It's one of the best concealers I've ever used from the drugstore. And it runs about $6 to $6.50. So it works really good. And the application to it is... Sorry, that was my puppy going crazy. But anyways, the application to this brush is just amazing. Like, I love my Sephora concealer, you guys know that, but the concealer comes out like Fort Knox. It's so hard to get out of the bottle. This is so easy. So I'm going to use my Real Techniques blender, and I'm just going to blend that all in. Okay, so obviously after we conceal, we're going to set, and today I'm using my Ben Nye powder, and I'm just going to dip my beauty blender in it, and then just set my, everywhere I conceal is where I set first, just so that I don't get the lines in my under eyes, and then I set the rest of my face afterwards. And I'm just using my Real Techniques, not my beauty blender, my Real Techniques sponge. I do have to say, I know I've said it before, I get a lot, people think that I'm crazy because I did not like the beauty blenders. And if you guys like those and they work for you, like, I commend you because, you know, they're a lot of money. And I just can't get them to work. I've tried several times, and I'm just not a fan. So, like, look at my beauty blender. This is, like, brand freaking new because I just can't stand to use it. So, I just keep going back to my Real Techniques one. Okay, so now we're going to start on the fun part, working on the eyes. So, I am using my Morphe 35E palette today. I will go over the colors that I use for in there. I'm also using two Colourpop colors. I'm going to be using from Kathleen Light's Where the Light Is palette, or quad. I'm going to be using her color Cornelius, which is like a matte brown, matte warm brown. And then also from Colourpop, this is one of their Super Shock shadows. I'm going to be using the color Sequin, which is kind of like a copper gold pink. So here we go. So I'm going to first put in my crease color just because I don't want this to show through much. I want more of those springy colors to show. So we're going to put Cornelius right in the crease and blend it out. And like I've said in my other video, if you guys have not used Colourpop before, Colourpop, their shadows, everything of theirs is very, very creamy. So if you have a problem using them, I find that it's best to either use your fingers or a synthetic brush. If I want it to be super, super pigmented, more than likely I use my fingers, but like when I'm using crease colors from Colourpop, I don't have a problem putting a crease color in with a synthetic brush, and it goes in really nice. So we're just going to put that in our crease just to start a base for this colorful foundation. And opening up my Morphe 350E palette, which I believe is like the Glam Girl palette. I'm not going to be using like this white. I'm going to be using 4 Down from here, which is almost like a beige, like a champagne beige color. We're going to be using that one just because I think that will go better with the peaches than just a plain old white. So I'm going to be using just a e.l.f. regular eyeshadow brush. These things are $1 at the drugstore. You can't beat them. They work really well. I have like a million of them. There's nothing wrong with having a little backup. So we're just going to put that right along the brow bone and then drag it down just a little bit, just so that everything is going to blend normally. So on the brow bone, dragging it down a little bit, and there. Okay. Alright. So then the next color I'm going to be using as my lid color is also in my Morphe 35E palette. And it is going to be this beautiful, right underneath the white right here. It's like a beautiful peachy, let me swatch it for you. It's a beautiful peachy pink tone. So if you don't have Morphe, you could use any, it's like a pearlescent color. It's not matte. So you could use any type, you don't have to use these actual shadows that I'm using. I know some of you guys are watching these tutorials and you're like, she used like 19 shadows in one look. Like, I don't have all those. I'm giving you the foundation to know where to put the similar colors, so you don't need to have my palettes. If you're doing it in the technique in which I'm doing, then you'll get pretty much the same look. So I'm just using this because this is what I just got. I wanted to show it to you guys, and it has some really beautiful peach colors in it. So we're just going to set that down all along the lid, bringing it up to Cornelius in the crease. Okay. Now I have seen in the Morphes, and maybe ladies, if you have Morphe palettes, let me know. I do have a problem with the matte colors. The shimmer colors and the pearlescence, not so much. The pigmentation's there, but on some of those mattes, it's really disappointing. So you're definitely going to have to use some Fix Plus or something like that in order to get the color payoff that you want. So then I'm just going to take that brush that I was using Cornelius with, and I'm just going to go right back and blend that in, just making sure that everything is nice and smooth and all blended out. Alright, so now we're going to go in with that sequin color from Colourpop, and I'm using, again, another e.l.f. brush. And what we're going to do is we're going to drag it along the outer V, and then we're going to kind of bring it in towards the crease. As you can see, it's starting to intensify that peachy color that we had going on. Alrighty, and then I'm just going to take a little on my finger, and I'm just going to pat in that outer V just so that it's a little more dramatic. And then one more time in with that Cornelius brush, or whatever blending brush you're using, just blend right on top. Just blend right on top so that it's nice and even. Alrighty, and I'm not going to really blow out the bottom lash because I don't want this to be super dramatic. I want it to be a pop of color, but at the same time, I don't want it to be something that you have to wear at nighttime. So we're just going to go in with a liquid liner, and we're just going to do a slight wing. We're not going to do a real heavy wing, so. Alrighty, and then going in, finish out those eyes. We're going to be using the Maybelline Lash Sensational. You guys know that this is my favorite, very dramatic. Okay, and then just to finish off my eyebrows and give them a little bit of color, I'm using that Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Mascara. Absolutely love this stuff, guys. It works so well. The formula on it is just amazing. Alright, and since our eyes are done, now we're going to finish out our face. And of course, you guys know, for my bronzer and my contour today, I'm going to be using the Butter Bronzer just because I don't want to go with something that's like really, really contoured. So I'm just going to give myself a little natural color. So we're just going to do it all around the outside edges of our face. Alrighty, and then blush, it's pink, it's spring, and so, you guys knew I just picked up a ton of new blushes for spring, so I'm going to be using this Wet n Wild one, which is fantastic plastic pink, and it just, if there's a color that screams spring, this is it right here. This is like Barbie pink. So we're not going to go too crazy with it, but just enough to give the cheeks a little color. Alrighty, and then for my highlighter today, I'm going to be using Colourpop Smokin Whistles. Now, I will say, ladies, I kind of had a hard time figuring out what brushes to use with these Colourpop highlighters, just because they are kind of the same, they are pretty much the same, like, formula base as the eyeshadows. So my regular highlighter brush would not work in them because, number one, the highlighter brush that I use 95% of the time is a real hair brush. And then number two, my fan brush, which is synthetic, did not work well either. So I did a little experimenting, and the best one that I find that works with these Colourpop highlighters is actually the Real Techniques setting brush, which is weird because I know a lot of girls use this for like contouring their nose and stuff like that, but ever since I started using this for my Colourpop highlighters, I've fallen in love with these Colourpop highlighters. Like, I bought them and because they're so beautiful, and then when I tried to use them with my regular brushes, I was so disappointed that it wasn't working. Like, I was like, oh my god, did I just find something that I don't like from Colourpop? And let me tell you, ever since I switched brushes and I started using this Real Technique brush for my highlighters, it's amazing. Can you see that? Holy Toledo, look at that glow, girl. There you go. I'm telling you, glow is in style right now. It is the rage. Alrighty, so then I'm actually going to finish this off. I haven't even swatched this color yet. Like, look. Oh god, don't watch. Ugh. I hope my mom isn't watching this video, guys, because if she just saw me open that with my teeth, I'm going to get a phone call later, and she's just going to chew me out. Her and my husband hate when I open things with my teeth, but I can't help it. It's maybe the country in me, I don't know. So we're going to put this puppy on. Ooh, guys, this smells like buttercream. I kind of want to, like, ugh. It smells so good. It probably doesn't taste that way, but it smells that way. Holy. Ooh, girl. Okay, guys, so what do you think? It's really springy. Like, this makes me want to go lay on the beach in Florida and drink like a strawberry daiquiri with my feet in the sand. It's so springy and glowy. I love it. So let me know what you guys think, and please, guys, I'm begging you to share my videos, get me out there. If you have any videos that you would like to see, please leave them in the comments below. I know you guys have been begging for a winged eyeliner tutorial, and I promise that's coming next. So please like my channel. If you love this video, give it a thumbs up. Any questions that you have, please give them in the comments. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you in a couple days, guys. Bye.